Welcome to the deep dive.
Right.
And today, we're taking a bit of a different approach, more personal exploration, if you will,
Okay.
because this deep dive is prompted by something you, our listener, shared with us.
Hmm.
Excerpts from a document titled Mafu 3.pdf. And, flipping through these pages, it's clear this is a deep dive into some pretty heavy stuff,
Yeah.
like grief, meditation, even the interconnectedness of life, all very human experiences.
Right, right.
And from what you've shared, it seems like you've been giving a lot of thought to navigating loss and finding meaning, particularly through these lenses.
These are themes that really resonate with everyone at some point in their lives, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And that's why I think this deep dive, exploring the core insights of these excerpts, is going to be so powerful.
Yeah.
It's about understanding these universal aspects of being human through your personal lens. So let's dive right in.
Let's do it.
All right, so your document starts with a narration by someone called Zoran the Dragon.
Intriguing.
Right, so Zoran begins by acknowledging the scribe's loss, the passing of their mother.
Right.
But then, almost immediately, there's this really striking idea introduced,
Oh.
that even in death, the thread of connection remains unbroken.
Eternal.
Eternal, right?
Wow.
What do you make of this initial metaphor, this thread that continues?
Well, it's fascinating how this image reframes our understanding of endings, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
It suggests that while physical presence may cease, the essence of our relationship, the impact that person had on us,
It lives on.
lives on, woven into the very fabric of our being.
It's not a severing, it's more of a transformation of that connection.
Exactly.
Now, there's this touching story about the scribe's mother visiting an ashram,
Okay.
even though it seems like that particular spiritual path wasn't something she fully grasped herself.
I see.
Zoran highlights that a key part of love is honoring what holds meaning for someone else, even if it lies outside our own understanding.
Oh, that's so true.
It's such a profound point about acceptance and respect in relationships.
Right. It really underscores that support isn't always about shared understanding.
It's about respecting the individual journey.
Exactly, yeah. And this really resonates with the importance of empathy in
Absolutely.
any relationship, valuing what's important to the other person.
Even if we don't personally connect with it in the same way.
Absolutely.
Now, Zoran then touches on the synchronicity of the mother's passing happening while the book was being written. And the natural arrival of grief, right?
Yeah.
But instead of painting grief as this enemy, Zoran describes it as the price of love, like a necessary part of the experience
Yeah.
that confirms the depth of what was.
You know, it's such a beautiful way to reframe grief, don't you think?
Totally. Because so often we're told to push it away, to get over it as quickly as possible.
Right.
But here it's presented as an intrinsic part of love.
Yeah.
And that image of humbling rain
Right.
for new growth that Zoran uses, it's so powerful.
It is.
Because it suggests that even in sorrow, there's this potential for transformation,
There is.
a deepening of our understanding of life.
Absolutely.
But, and this is important, Zoran also cautions against being consumed by grief, emphasizing this need to find that sacred edge where sorrow and stillness meet.
Yeah.
This leads naturally into the role of meditation, right?
Right.
Which Zoran describes as a way to begin to see the thinning illusion of separation, with our breath acting as a bridge
Between life and death.
between life and death. So how do you see meditation fitting into this whole process of navigating grief?
I think meditation in this context, it's not about suppressing grief, right?
Yeah.
It's about creating a space to hold it with awareness,
Yeah.
you know? By focusing on the breath, which is this constant link to the present moment, perhaps we can begin to see the interconnectedness of all things,
Yeah.
even in the face of profound loss.
And that idea of the thinning illusion of separation, it's so powerful.
It is, yeah.
Because it suggests that at a deeper level, the bonds of love transcend physical boundaries.
Right.
I mean, I was struck by that beautiful image of endings being just folds in the infinite fabric.
It's a lovely thought, yeah.
It's a lovely thought.
And then that love and laughter continue to echo.
Yeah.
It gives us this sense of continuity, this permanence that can be so comforting
Absolutely.
during times of loss.
It suggests that the essence of those joyful moments, those loving connections,
They're not lost.
they're not lost.
They're integrated into the larger tapestry of existence.
And Zoran even mentions the book itself becoming a lifeline for the scribe, a space to just sit with grief and allow that necessary breaking of the heart. It really highlights the therapeutic power of creative expression.
Absolutely. Engaging in creative expression, whether it's writing, art, music, anything, it provides a healthy outlet for processing those complex emotions.
Yeah.
It allows us to give form to our inner experience, and that can be such a vital part of healing.
And the final takeaway from Zoran is so gentle, but so powerful. Don't fear tears, but don't lose yourself in them.
Right.
Feel that connecting thread to all loved ones, reinforcing the idea that nothing is truly lost, only changed.
It's his message of acknowledging sorrow, but finding solace in connection.
It's a beautiful way to put it.
It encapsulates the balance,
Yeah.
allowing ourselves to feel the pain of loss while remembering those enduring bonds of love.
Yeah.
Finding a way to carry our grief without being overwhelmed by it.
Right.
Anchored by the knowledge that those connections remain.
Yeah. All right, moving on. The document includes a poem titled R.I.P. Dear Mom, dated February 17th, 2025. And this feels like a very direct and personal expression of grief and remembrance following the passing of the mother.
Right, a different perspective from Zoran's narration.
Right. More philosophical, right?
Yes, more philosophical. This allows us to connect with the personal impact.
Yeah, absolutely. The first verse recounts the brother's call.
Okay.
And that exact time of passing,
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah. And it highlights this feeling of loss, even though it was something that was anticipated.
Right. You know what I mean? It's that strange duality.
Yeah.
Where you know it's coming, but the reality still hits you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It really captures that feeling.
Yeah. It illustrates the difference between understanding and experience.
Totally.
Even when we're prepared on a cognitive level,
Yeah.
the actual moment can trigger such a profound emotional response.
Yeah. It underscores the deeply felt nature of those bonds.
Absolutely.
The second verse touches on 5 years of daily talks, shared dreams and plans, and the mother's just unwavering support for her children's endeavors.
It paints a picture of a deeply connected relationship.
It does.
Full of nurturing. And what this highlights, right, is the significance of those everyday interactions.
Totally.
It's often in those daily rituals, those shared moments, that the strongest bonds are formed.
Right. And their absence is keenly felt in grief.
Yes, absolutely. And that mention of shared dreams, it highlights that future they envision together.
Yeah.
And the sense of loss for those possibilities.
Now, verse 3 shifts a bit.
Oh.
It focuses on this grand celebration with ancestors and the feeling of the mother's spirit being present alongside the brother.
Okay.
There's this idea of feet on the ground, head in heaven, and a sense of continued growth even amidst loss. How do you interpret this shift in tone?
I think it suggests a move toward finding meaning.
Yeah.
And even a sense of spiritual connection within the grieving process, that grand celebration, right?
Yeah.
It reframes death not as an ending, but as a transition.
Yeah.
Within this larger cosmic framework.
And feet on the ground, head in heaven.
Yes. It speaks to maintaining a connection to both the earthly reality of grief and this broader spiritual perspective.
It offers hope and continuity.
It does.
Yeah. The bridge in the poem is particularly moving.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about life and death weaving together. This possibility of mending broken hearts and the felt presence of the mother.
Right. It conveys a sense of interconnectedness.
Yeah.
And the potential for healing.
It's a powerful image of that cyclical nature of life and death.
Yeah.
And the resilience of the human heart.
It is, yeah. And that feeling of the mother's presence.
Yeah.
It offers comfort and suggests that even in absence, the love, that connection.
Endures.
It endures.
And the chorus, which repeats throughout, really emphasizes the enduring lessons of forgiveness and compassion learned from the mother.
Okay.
Those intertwined hearts and the lasting nature of her love.
Right.
Like, these are the core values.
The lasting legacy.
The lasting legacy.
Right. That repetition of these core themes reinforces their importance.
Yeah.
Forgiveness, compassion, right?
Yeah.
They're highlighted as these key elements of her character and the enduring gifts that she imparted.
The intertwined heart, such a powerful image.
Yeah. Speaking to that deep and unbreakable bond of love.
And the outro expresses that longing for those daily stories, the embraces.
Yeah.
But also this feeling of her grace in every breath.
Right.
And this comforting thought that she's never truly gone in the dance of life and love. It's such a beautiful blend of sorrow and acceptance.
It is.
It really is.
It captures that ongoing presence.
Yeah.
In the everyday moments.
Even after their physical departure.
Right.
Framing life as a dance of life and love, it suggests this continuous flow.
Absolutely.
Where their influence and their spirit remain an integral part.
Right. Okay, so next we move on to reflections on individuals who have clearly been important.
Yeah.
The first being Linda Graham.
Linda Graham.
Right. Described as a dear friend with a heart of gold.
Heart of gold.
Loves humanity and meditation. The tone is so warm and full of appreciation.
It is. It really sets the stage.
Yeah. It signals the significance of this relationship.
Absolutely.
And sets the stage to understand Linda's impact.
There's this lovely line, talking to Linda is like sugar to the soul.
Oh, I love that.
So fulfilling, so enriching.
It really emphasizes the value of those deep, meaningful connections.
It really does.
That nourishment, that inspiration we receive from kindred spirits.
Right.
Those who resonate with our values.
Yeah.
Offer insightful perspectives.
Absolutely. Now, the author mentions knowing Linda for many moons. Even hinting at a connection that goes beyond this lifetime.
Okay.
Emphasizing their shared yet individual spiritual paths.
Interesting.
It really suggests a profound and enduring bond.
This implies a deep sense of soul connection.
Totally.
Recognition of a bond that transcends time and individual experience.
And acknowledging those separate paths within a shared journey.
Right.
It highlights this balance between unity and personal growth.
Absolutely.
Now, they inspire each other towards kindness and compassion, believing these qualities are essential for positive change
Right.
in the world.
This reflects a shared ethical framework.
It does.
Centered on compassion and its transformative power.
Yeah. Not just on an individual level, but for the wider world.
Exactly.
There's this really fascinating concept of moving beyond black and white thinking to seeing in color through meditation, with kindness and compassion being the prominent colors.
I like that.
Such a powerful metaphor for a more nuanced and empathetic way of perceiving the world.
Right. How do you think meditation facilitates that?
Well, I think meditation cultivates a deeper awareness of our own thoughts and biases.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So it allows us to see beyond those rigid categories and judgments, and by fostering qualities like kindness and compassion within ourselves.
Yeah.
Those become the lenses through which we view others,
Right.
the world. It adds depth and nuance to our understanding.
It really does.
Now, this statement really caught my eye.
Okay.
You are the universe. You just don't know it.
Wow.
Attributed to Linda.
To Linda.
Yeah. And the author notes that she's one of the few with whom such profound ideas can be discussed. It really suggests a shared understanding of this deep interconnectedness.
It points to a shared metaphysical understanding.
It does.
This recognition of the inherent unity between the individual and the cosmos.
Right.
And to find someone with whom you can explore such expansive ideas, it's validating.
It's enriching.
So enriching, yeah.
Now, they both share a belief that the greatest riches lie within, leading to this free giving of kindness and compassion, even to so-called enemies,
Right.
who are seen as only existing in one state of mind.
That's powerful.
It's powerful, right?
Yeah.
It emphasizes the power of inner resources
Yeah.
and the transcendence of negativity.
It aligns with the idea that true fulfillment,
Yeah.
it comes from cultivating inner qualities.
Inner qualities.
Not seeking external validation.
Right. And that concept of so-called enemies,
Yeah.
being a projection of our own minds, it encourages us to look inward, to resolve conflict, to cultivate compassion, even in those challenging relationships.
Right. To see the world through a lens of compassion.
Absolutely. So Linda is described as constantly learning and practicing to advance in the video game of life.
The video game of life.
Yeah.
I like that.
Seeing challenges as curveballs that offer opportunities to smile and grow through kindness and compassion.
Okay.
What a great way to frame life's difficulties.
It is. Why do you think that analogy works so well?
I think because it makes the often daunting process of personal growth more relatable,
Yeah.
more playful even. It reframes obstacles,
Yeah.
not as roadblocks,
Right.
but as opportunities to learn, to level up,
I like that.
right, through positive actions and attitudes. It emphasizes agency, the idea that we have choices in how we respond.
Right.
Now, the author expresses deep gratitude for Linda's presence and love, really highlighting her role in helping them learn to play this video game with more awareness,
Yeah.
recognizing that everyone is in the same boat
Right.
with free choice. It's a testament to those supportive friendships and mentors.
It is. It underscores the importance of having those supportive relationships that help us navigate life's complexities with more awareness and resilience.
Yeah.
And recognizing that we all face challenges.
Yeah.
It fosters empathy.
Absolutely. Now, the document shifts to Don Rockland,
Okay.
who the author first met in 1986.
1986.
Yeah. When Don was Linda Graham's boyfriend.
Okay.
He's introduced as this incredible musician on a similar spiritual path, really highlighting the interconnectedness of this community.
It provides that historical context.
It does.
And emphasizes those shared values and interests within this network.
Now, fast forward 20 years to Ashland, Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah, where both the author and Don are living.
Okay.
And this sets the stage for a creative collaboration, sparked by a poetry reading with music by Ray Manzarek of The Doors.
Wow, Ray Manzarek.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Right. And this inspired the author to ask Don to create music for their own poems.
I see.
So what does this tell us about the power of artistic inspiration?
Well, I think it highlights how experiencing one art form can ignite the desire for creative expression in another.
Right.
It also demonstrates the potential for synergy when different art forms combine, enhancing the impact and meaning of each.
Absolutely.
Now, the author specifically praises Don's improvisational talent,
Oh, wow.
giving a wonderful example of this slow, sauntering effect he created for a poem about a blind man and an elephant. It brings Don's musicality and his intuitive understanding of the poetry to life.
Right. This example showcases Don's ability to connect with the essence of the poem.
Yes.
And translate that into music.
Right.
That enhances the listener's experience.
Right.
And improvisation requires skill,
For sure.
a deep connection to that creative flow.
Absolutely. And the document mentions the Fletcher Soul Traveler Collaboration Project 2017 on Don's website as an example of their work.
So there's a tangible reference point for anyone who's interested. Right. Now, the document delves into Don's background a bit.
Okay.
As a composer, pianist, and educator.
Composer, pianist, educator.
Right. And it's interesting that he taught himself piano after initially playing French horn.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. So it shows this self-driven nature.
Yeah.
He started performing in churches, which is a common starting point for many musicians.
It is. It provides a foundation of performance.
Right.
And connecting with an audience.
Connecting with an audience. He went on to compose for dance companies, off-Broadway, children's theater. This diverse range of creative pursuits really highlights his artistic approach.
It indicates a versatile and adaptable creative spirit.
It does.
Someone open to exploring different genres.
Yeah.
Collaborating on various projects.
A deep love for music.
A deep love for music.
In all its forms.
Right.
Now, to support his music in the mid-'80s,
Okay.
Don worked various sales jobs,
Yeah.
eventually leading to the creation of the Sandwich Man Lunch Delivery Service in Sedona.
The Sandwich Man Lunch Delivery Service.
Right.
That's great. It highlights the realities many artists face.
It does.
The resourcefulness they need to support their creative endeavors.
And it speaks to his determination to make a life connected to his passions.
It really does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, he found great success with his Just for Fun piano workshops, which spread across the U.S. His teaching philosophy focused on playing from the heart.
Playing from the heart.
Right.
Yeah.
And overcoming performance anxiety, which clearly resonated with many students.
It suggests a student-centered approach
It does.
that prioritizes joy and addresses those barriers like performance anxiety.
Absolutely. And playing from the heart.
Yeah.
It implies this focus on emotional connection
Right.
over strict technical perfection.
Right.
So it makes music more accessible, more enjoyable
Absolutely.
to a wider range of people.
Right.
Now, Don also founded the Ashland School of Music,
Wow.
further solidifying his role as an educator
Right.
and contributor to that local arts community.
Yeah.
A real commitment to fostering musical talent.
Absolutely. Establishing a school of music is a huge contribution.
It is.
It creates opportunities for others
Yeah.
to learn and engage,
Right.
leaving a lasting impact.
A lasting impact.
Yeah.
Now, a key realization for Don was that the impact of teaching was as rewarding as performing, which led him to create seminars on creativity, wellness with music, and fearless public speaking. He even wrote a book on public speaking.
Wow. So it's a fascinating evolution in his career.
It is.
Right. Moving beyond just being a performer. What do we think that means?
Well, it suggests a deepening understanding of his own purpose.
Okay.
This recognition that his skills and experience could benefit others
Yeah.
in profound ways. And this move toward teaching and offering seminars.
Yeah.
It shows a desire to share his wisdom, to empower others to overcome their own creative and personal challenges.
Absolutely.
The section on Dawn concludes with his core message. Relax into life. Be prepared to improvise.
Okay.
Enjoy the ride. See rules as guidelines. Spirituality and following creative impulses are central to his path.
That's a wonderful summation
It is.
of his life philosophy.
And they're valuable life lessons that extend far beyond music.
Yeah.
You know, they emphasize the importance of flexibility, embracing uncertainty, finding joy in the process, trusting one's inner guidance.
Principles that can be applied to any aspect of life.
Any aspect of life. Now, the document briefly mentions John Baer, Harry Bartz, and David Schweitzer, perhaps acknowledging them as part of this broader network.
Right, a wider community of individuals
Yeah.
who have played a part in this journey.
And then we come to Judith Phillips.
Judith Phillips.
Right. And the connection here is through Catherine Lake.
Okay.
And there's a fond memory of staying at Judith's house for what's described as a Mafu seminar.
It seems like Mafu might refer to a teaching or a community.
Right, like a particular teaching or community. And there's a really memorable anecdote shared about Mafu speaking to the author with Judith translating.
Okay.
This led to a lunch invitation with someone named Sophia and a limo ride.
Wow. It sounds like a unique experience.
It does, right.
Yeah, it offers a glimpse into those transformative experiences associated with the Mafu community, highlighting Judith's role as a facilitator.
As a connector.
Right.
And Judith is also remembered as the first person to give the author a tour of Sedona, emphasizing its incredible nature. It adds another layer to her significance.
Right. Introducing a connection to a specific place.
Yeah.
Perhaps spiritually resonant.
And finally, we reach the closing a tapestry of threads section,
Okay.
which beautifully reflects on the connections and shared experiences woven throughout the document.
This serves as a powerful synthesis,
It does.
drawing together the narratives and insights.
It emphasizes that life is this interwoven web, not a solitary path. The lessons from various individuals like Ishwara Devi, Anne Freeman, and Marcus Freeman, who are all mentioned, offer a map of inner landscapes.
That tapestry metaphor is so fitting.
Is.
You know, it captures the interconnectedness
It does.
of lives and experiences.
And recognizing these lessons as a map, right,
Yeah.
of inner landscapes, it encourages introspection
It does.
and application to our own personal journeys.
Right.
Now, some key discoveries are summarized. Life and meditation as art and practice. Stillness not being stagnation.
Right.
The power of kindness,
Okay.
the growth potential in every connection,
Yeah.
and the boundlessness of the inner journey.
It's profound.
These feel like the core messages.
They do, yeah. When you say stillness not being stagnation, what does that imply, do you think?
Well, I think it suggests that inner quietude, those moments of stillness, they're not passive
Right.
or unproductive. They could be dynamic,
Okay.
generative states. It's in those moments of stillness that we often gain clarity,
Absolutely.
insight,
Yeah.
a deeper understanding of ourselves,
Yeah.
the world around us.
The world around us.
Now, the closing directly addresses you, our listener, framing these lessons as an invitation, a seedling planted in fertile soil,
Right.
to be nurtured and adapted. It's such a personal and encouraging way to end.
It creates a connection.
It does.
Encourages you to engage with the material,
Absolutely.
to consider how these insights resonate and offer guidance.
It emphasizes that the end of this book isn't a conclusion,
Right.
but a starting point,
A starting point, yeah.
with the exercises and anecdotes serving as gifts for the journey ahead.
Right.
It reframes endings as opportunities for new beginnings.
It encourages an ongoing process
That's perfect.
of learning and integration,
Right.
emphasizing that personal growth is a continuous journey,
It's not a destination.
not a destination.
The spirit of Mafu is said to continue in everyday acts of kindness, reflection, and connection,
Right.
like ripples extending outward.
It highlights the idea that the principles of the Mafu teachings, they're meant to be lived out
Yeah.
in daily life, you know,
Right.
through our interactions, our inner reflections.
And the closing concludes with this metaphor of you, the listener, weaving your own final thread, carrying the light of the journey, guided to your unique path,
Right.
echoing the sentiment, as above, so within.
It's a powerful closing image,
It is.
empowering you to take ownership of your journey,
Absolutely.
guided by the wisdom,
Yeah.
and connected to those larger universal principles.
All right. So, as we bring this deep dive to a close, we've journeyed through some incredibly personal and profound reflections from the material you shared with us.
Yeah.
We've explored how navigating grief and loss can be intertwined with a deep sense of connection, and that enduring power of love. We've considered the impact of kindness and compassion on our lives and the world around us. And we've touched on the transformative potential of meditation and inner reflection.
Indeed, these excerpts offer such a rich exploration of these themes,
They do.
providing comfort, inspiration, and even practical insights.
Absolutely, for living a more meaningful and connected life.
Absolutely.
So on that note, here's a final thought for you to consider. Building on that beautiful tapestry of threads metaphor.
Okay.
Think about how you are currently weaving your own unique thread into the larger tapestry of life. What colors of experience, of joy, sorrow, connection, kindness are you consciously choosing to emphasize in your own creation?
We encourage you to continue exploring these themes and reflect on your own experiences. Thank you for joining us.